Hello. I wanted to put a video out here from some more research that I ran across, and I've been trying to kind of get it all organized so it can flow again. I think that's the hardest part. And I was wanting to show something that's really interesting. It's Genesis 19:1, and this is when Yahuah destroys Sodom and Gomorrah. But look at the time frame that it's talking about. This is during the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And he said, and he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him, and entered into his house, and he made them a feast, and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. So they were talking about Tyrion washing the feet. It's the same time frame as the Passover, Pesach, for the children of Israel. So thought that was really neat for the same time frame. And I just wanted to share some things that have helped me. If you're starting to do a Seder, I don't even know the time frame of what things are coming, but, just in case, it may be overwhelming to some people. This book has been very helpful. It's the Jewish Holiday Kitchen, and it's I'll show you the name here. Joan Nathan, and it talks about different feasts and stuff, and the festivals, and how to put them in different recipes. And I always found this very helpful when I was, starting out, so people can kind of look at that. It's very neat. Now, one of my favorite Haggadahs for Pesach is this one, Messianic Rabbi Jan Rosenberg. I like the layout of this Haggadah. It makes sense to me, and I'll give you the website so you can go on there and look at it if you want to order that. I have a couple here. This one is another one, and it goes, the way that we normally read in the Western world. So here would be the plate, the Seder plate in Hebrew, and what you put in it, and lighting the candles. But I like this because I like the flow. It's logical to me. It makes sense. I like the way that it has kind of some fun sense of humor in it, and that's my sense of humor. So I wanted to kind of get this out here, and so here's the Seder plate in this. So you have your salt water and your karpas and haroset. And some of these books will have, and like this one, this is the Passover cookbook that I like to use, and I've used for years. And it has different recipes in here. That's my chickens, Mediterranean chicken stews. And then you can do matzah salad, different things to make. So I wanted to get that out in case you're getting ready to keep your first Seder, which I really hope you do, because it's such a blessing. It's a baruka, and goes through here. And I'll include some links about like the questions that are asked from the children and stuff. So I wanted to. The 4 questions are really cool, and I think I've got a link that will show you how to say these. So I wanted to put this out. I also wanted to do a couple of things, and I really wanted to share some more information about this and why it's so important, and share from my heart. When I was a little girl, I think I was, it was 9 to 11, something like that, around that time frame. I was in a church, and I think they were doing something with Easter. And I remember feeling something in my kishkas. I don't know what my inner depth being. I was born again, but I was not filled with the Ruach HaKodesh until I was pregnant with my first child. So I think I was 22 maybe when I got filled with the Ruach HaKodesh. So, but Abba was obviously speaking to me, and I felt something was wrong about the Easter thing. And I was like 9 to 11, that time frame. And, I didn't know then, but I knew something was not right. And, it's taken, so many years to understand that. And I think there's an opportunity to come out of worshiping the goddess Ishtar for this coming up. I don't even know. I think it's this month or something when there's Easter or whatever. I don't even remember what time frame it is, because I don't celebrate that. But I really wanted to encourage you to please look at this, and about having the sign, those that love Yahuah with all their heart, soul, mind, who seek to obediently follow the Lamb wheresoever he goes. These are they who partake of his Passover, Pesach, regardless that many keep Easter and worship weekly to the cadence of the Roman Gregorian drum. I wanted to, again, kind of put this in here. If Passover the 14th of Abib is not found as a sign to you on your hand and as a memorial between your eyes, then neither will Torah be found in your mouth. Exodus 13, 9 through 10. I know that, it is very uncomfortable talking about things like this, but I know as a child, he was talking to me about things that I actually never understood until later in life. So he's always speaking, and I'm speaking to those of, maybe in the northern tribes, and there's just something that's never set right, and you've never felt like you've belonged in these congregations, in these churches. I encourage you. That's why I'm doing this, to call forth those, of Israel to come home. Come home and keep the true sign, the seal of Yahuah, which is Passover. Look at all the things that are getting ready to come to pass. I happened to go on the computer and I looked at, I just typed in Passover to see how many times, like, maybe this might come up, and look at all this. I mean, he's constantly speaking. God made wind to pass over the earth. Passover. All this in scripture, and all the patterns that keep repeating over and over and over and over and over again. And I wanted to encourage you, and maybe give you some directions on how to do this if this is new to you. Now, this is something for someone way smarter than me, but this is what I've been thinking about lately, and I've been trying to figure this out. And I'll show I'll show a website. I don't want to make anybody dizzy here. And I don't know what website that is. I don't, pros or cons of it, I don't know. But it was very analytical and logical in the order, and it's very systematic. So I really like this one. And it kind of gives the order of the 12 tribes of Israel. So there's birth order, mother order, inheritance, Exodus to Egypt, census of tribes. Okay, where's that at? Census of tribes, camp order, men 20 and older, curses and blessings, distribution of land, 12 gates of the temple and remnant of Israel. So I thought it was neat. So what I did is I took the creation calendar and I started adding the tribes, because if through the birth order. So first month Judah, second would be Issachar, and the stones that they represented, Zebulun, and fourth month, I won't say the name that they have there because it's a deity, and I don't agree with that. And then you have Simeon, Emerald, Gad, Jasper. And what made me think of this is because in Revelation it talks about the stones, the sardis stones, and different things like that. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That's really cool. And so this is, I forget which order this one was. This is Judah, and I think this is either the census of the tribes or the 12 gates of the temple. Nope, that's not it. It's not the mother order. I think it's the census of the tribes. Or it could be camp order. Oh, I think it's the camp order. I'm sorry. Then I did Revelations. This is so cool. So I did Revelations, and I always thought it was cool because, Levi wasn't supposed to have an inheritance because of they were embedded with all the tribes and when they were dispersed. But here in Revelations, they're back again. So Judah, and also Judah and different tribes represented different symbols. Of course, Judah was the lion, right? So you go through here, and Zebulun, you can fill this in yourself, look this up, is a haven for ships, Genesis 49:13. So that was pretty cool. And that's the 10th month. And here I had that dream about the ancient ship sailing. I'm like, I wonder if he's talking about something about the tribe, which I don't know. He hasn't answered me yet. I'm still waiting. The 11th month is Joseph, according to the order of Revelations. And then the 12th month would be Benjamin. And guess what Benjamin represents? It was a symbol of a wolf. And I think it says, and they shall be a ravenous wolf along the way. But it kind of describes what tribe that is. It's really neat because my husband had a dream about a bull, a bear, and a wolf. And maybe I will get him on here to share this about it. It's really cool. And it's kind of funny. People talk about the wolf in sheep's clothing, but my rabbi his name is Wolf. So, but he's a true shepherd. So definitely you can't judge a book by its cover. That's for sure. You have to pray for the Ruach HaKodesh to give you discernment. So then here's my next thought for someone way smarter than me. So you have the priest here, right? So you have the ephod here and then the ephod on the shoulders. So I wonder what order was this, and because every time we can, it goes back to the other video that I did about the Sabbath and by the book by Abraham, Joshua, Heschel. And every time you keep Sabbath, it's like you're creating a time and space for Yahuah to dwell in. So I just thought it was neat, and maybe the order of the ephod on the priest would be some kind of order, and then you have 6 on one side and 6 on the other side of the shoulders, because that's the shoulder bearing how it says the government shall be upon his shoulders, and which order. So maybe some of the tribes are down here in order, but yet on the shoulders there's a different order. So I thought that was kind of neat, kind of the concept that I've been thinking about. But I think this is significant, the order in Revelations. In Revelation, the unveiling and why it was ordered this way, and how Levi has, a part in that. So there has to be something in the temple in heavenly realm, how this is. So I wanted to just put this out here, and here again, here's that video, that website. And again, I don't know who did this website, so I am not pro and con towards it either way. I just liked the layout because it made sense. Now I wanted to put this together with this connection, and it talked about, I think this is one of the dreams on the barn thingy, and it talks about how it is in heaven, and it talks about the throne and the jewel, and so there's a bunch that talk about the jewels and stuff. And he said, and I really wanted to talk about this concept about humility, and no one without humility enjoys correction, right? So they will argue, and their understanding will be forever veiled because they refuse to admit a mistake. It's talking about Yochanan and how he observed these things, and about shadows and about the outskirts of the city, and how the enemy is going to be held accountable for deception among many. This time is soon, and he knows this. Whomever chooses to remain in his deceptions by not fully coming to, that would be Yeshua, for clarity, and relying on the Ruach HaKodesh for counsel, will be shocked when they will only be privy to the limitations they speak of. They will not enjoy being apart from me, and they will regret their self-taught doctrine. Please read the truth in Scripture. Remember, it's a script. And the script is true. With the Ruach HaKodesh as your teacher and wise counselor. The instruction from me will dwell in you as if the word is coursing through your veins. You will know a peace that will prevail against any outside teaching, voice of reason that twists scripture and is void of counsel. So I wanted to get this out because I was limiting Yahuah by not wanting to have any kind of dreams of heaven. And I didn't realize that until last year. And then I had my first rapture dream. And I dreamed, which is really funny because I dreamed that I was in bed, and this was a dream while I was sleeping, but I dreamed that I was being raised up and, just being real. Sometimes I kick my pajama bottoms off while I'm asleep. So while I was being raised up, somebody was holding me, and I couldn't see who was holding me, but I was being just raised up high into the sky, and I was going really, really fast. And I thought, oh my gosh, do I have my pajama bottoms on? Then I came back down. It's like, oh, okay, good, I have my pajamas. And then I went right back up again, and I went faster, and I arrived in a picnic area, and I saw one person that I recognized, and I went up to this person, and I said, I didn't know that you were a bride. I woke up. The second dream that I had was in a family member's house, and I turned and I looked out a window, and as I turned, I was being the silver platform was under my feet, and I was being lifted through the ceiling. And then I looked around, and other people were being lifted, and I ended up getting on a three-wheeler. The silver thing turned into a three-wheeler, and then we were taking off, flying on three-wheelers in the air, and I woke up. I've never been on a three-wheeler in my entire life, so that was kind of fun and interesting at the same time. And I just wanted to get this out here and share, and just don't limit him, how you think things are going to happen. I mean, who knew all this stuff was God, Yahuah is bringing this stuff out, and he's bringing it out, and everything seems to be happening around this time frame. You have Lot, this was during Pesach, then you have Moshe and the children of Israel during Pesach, and then you have Noah. The same time frame seems to be happening and over and over and over again. Maybe he's trying to tell us something. Just keep looking up, however it happens, don't limit him. He's the date for dinner. Be ready. If we're here for Pesach, keep Pesach. Come out and don't worship deities that, now that you know the truth. And, it's okay. You don't have to do that. There's something greater and bigger. I wanted to get this out, and blessings and shalom.